Have you ever had one of those conversations where you just feel like you're missing something, like there's a huge piece of the puzzle you can't see? Well, you are not alone. Today, we're diving into that exact feeling, the huge universal challenge of trying to read other people. And it all starts with something as real and honestly as raw as this. A Reddit user who moved to a new city and asked a question that so many of us have felt. How do you actually make friends as an adult? Because let's be real, this is about so much more than just making friends. It's about connection. It's about trying to decode the signals and the words and the silences of everyone around us. It's this constant puzzle that we're all trying to solve every single day. So, yeah, let's start right there with that very human, very common problem, the friend-making puzzle. The original poster just hit the nail on the head, didn't they? You can have an amazing chat with someone. You totally click, you find all this common ground. But then what? That awkward moment hits. How do you actually turn that into a friendship without it feeling, I don't know, forced or just weird? And of course, the Reddit community came through with all kinds of advice. It was like a crowdsourced guide to being human. You had the practical stuff, right? Like find people who are into the same things, join a sports team or a book club. Then you had the more philosophical takes, the idea that friendships just kind of happen when you share experiences. And then my favorite, the people who just said, look, just be brave and ask. Okay, so let's take this whole idea of reading people and just crank up the stakes a lot. What if your ability to figure someone out didn't just decide if you get coffee next week, but could actually determine their entire future? And that brings us to a field where reading people isn't just a social skill. It's a profession. It's a science. Welcome to the world of forensic psychology. It's basically where the science of the human mind smacks right into the legal system. And their job is absolutely critical. I mean, think about it. They might be called in to figure out if someone is even competent enough to stand trial. Or did the defendant actually understand what they were doing when a crime was committed? This is way beyond a friendly chat. The stakes couldn't be higher. So, how do they do it? Well, they've got this whole professional toolkit. We're talking serious clinical evaluations, standardized personality tests, like the MMPI-2, which can help spot psychological issues. They do risk assessments to try and predict future behavior. And they even do collateral interviews, which means talking to a person's friends and family to get the whole picture. Okay, so you have that whole formal clinical toolkit. And then you have this, a suggestion from another Reddit user, which is, it's kind of its own social assessment, isn't it? It's direct, it's vulnerable, it's a test to see if that connection you felt is real. Two completely different worlds, right? But both are trying to get to the same thing, the truth about another person. This brings us to an even deeper, trickier question, because we've been talking about how to read other people. But what happens when the person you're trying to understand is actually an expert at lying to themselves? And for that, we have to step into the world of stories and explore the art of the unreliable narrator. So take the author Peter Taylor. Critics point out that in his stories, everything, and I mean everything, is filtered through the narrator's point of view. The story isn't just about what happened, it's about who is telling you it happened, and maybe more importantly, why they're telling it the way they are. This quote just nails it. These characters are encased in layer after layer of irony. It's like their masks have masks. As the reader, you can't take anything at face value. You have to become a detective, constantly digging through all those layers to try and find what really happened. And here's the really cool part. In trying to control the story and present themselves a certain way, these characters accidentally reveal a completely different truth. A truth about their own flaws, their own biases. The real story just kind of leaks out between the lines. And this isn't just some clever writing trick. No, this gets at something deeply human. It shows how our own minds, our own consciousness, will work overtime to protect us from truths about ourselves that we just find too difficult to face. So let's bring it all together. We've been in 3 very different worlds, but what's the connection? It could be you in a pretty low-stakes situation, just trying to figure out if that person you met could actually become a friend. Or it could be a forensic psychologist in a super high-stakes case where their evaluation could change someone's life forever. Or it could just be you,
curled up with a good book, trying to piece together the truth from a narrator who might not even know it themselves.
See, in every single one of these cases, the challenge is exactly the same. It's about looking past the surface, listening to what's not being said, and trying to find the truth that's hiding just underneath it all. And that really just leaves us with one final, pretty important question. When you really think about it, who is the most unreliable narrator in your life?